Hello and welcome back to A Drink and a Song, a place where we share a drink and break down a song. This week we're going to hear a little Sturgill Simpson. We're going to have one of my favorite drinks, but as promised, I got my lovely producer slash daughter to come from behind the camera. Grace, we're going to do a quick Q&A, 3 questions. You'll get to know Grace a little better. So Grace, tell them how old you are.
I'm 23, I'll be 24 in September.
Excellent. And other than being an excellent daughter and an excellent producer, what do you do in your real life?
Right now I'm in school for cardiac sonography or ultrasound of the heart.
She's following in the family footsteps. She's staying with the heart. And I know I make a lot of drinks. Do you have a favorite drink that I make?
I'm not a big drinker, but if I had to choose, I'd probably do a Moscow Mule.
That's a good answer. I know, and actually most of the time she wants me to cut the alcohol in half or none. She just likes the mocktails.
The juice.
Just,
I like the juice.
She likes the juice. All right, thank you, Grace. Get behind the camera. Get to work. All right, that was on request. Some people like to see a pretty face other than mine. So this week we're going to share one of my favorite drinks, a Bloody Mary. So a Bloody Mary, where did that name come from? Because it's really not appealing to a lot of people, just the name. Some say that it was linked to Queen Mary of England. Her nickname was Bloody Mary because of all the killing and persecuting of Protestants. Some say the drink was after a girlfriend or a waitress named Mary from this bar in either Paris or Chicago. One even claimed that it was originally called Bucket of Blood, which obviously for branding purposes, that's a terrible name. So lots of stories why, but when did it come along? So most agree that the Bloody Mary started in Paris in the 1920s. There was a bartender named Fernand Pitot, or Pitot, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. He's usually credited with mixing vodka and tomato juice. He made this for all the Americans who had come over from America who were living in Paris and they were expatriates and they just liked tomato juice. So at first it was just simple. Vodka, tomato juice. Very, not spicy, super simple. But when he moved to New York, and the Americans, they wanted more of a punch in their drink. That was too plain. So he kind of came up with the formula. So in that time, we didn't have Bloody Mary mix. So he had some lemon juice, some Worcestershire sauce, some black pepper, some cayenne, and salt. And that's kind of really when a Bloody Mary became a Bloody Mary. So I'm going to show you how I make mine, because now that we have actual Bloody Mary mix, you don't have to put all those ingredients. But nowadays, Bloody Mary, it's like a staple also of like brunch. And it's no longer just a drink, it's a meal. People put bacon and shrimp and burger. Like there's so much in a Bloody Mary, it's ridiculous. But I like a simple Bloody Mary. We have them quite often. My favorite is George's. I like George's Spicy. That's the favorite one. You can get that at Food Line. But it's my favorite brand. I like a lot of brands, but I just think this one is the easiest and tastiest. So you also need vodka, and I got a new vodka. This one's a good mixer, and I really like the bottle. So they recommended that as a good mixer from the ABC store. And then I usually have just Texas Pete, which is a staple in everything, and some Worcestershire sauce. Those are my 4 ingredients. Now, when I make them for other people, I will put the olives, I'll put maybe a little bit of lemon juice, etc., etc. But I just think this is all you need to make a good Bloody Mary. So, Bloody Mary, you need a tumbler. You're going to have a 2-to-1 ratio. So I got 2 shots of vodka. A little extra for those people like that. And then 4 shots of Bloody Mary mix. And 1 more. And a shot to grow on. And then 2 dashes of Texas Pete. Or 3. And 2 dashes of Worcestershire. Perfect. As always, give it a nice vigorous shake. longer you shake it, the colder it gets. I like it served in a Collins glass. That is my favorite. And typically I put tahini or paprika around the rim, but I'm up at the bar and I didn't bring any up, so we're just gonna have it this way. Delicious. So good. There you go. That's how you make a Bloody Mary. One of my favorite Bloody Marys was at Jimmy's Famous Seafood up in Baltimore. They have a brunch where it's all you can drink and all you can mimosas or Bloody Marys. And like I said, it comes out as a meal. And we've been there a couple times when we've been up to Baltimore for games and stuff. Jimmy's Famous Seafood, go on a Sunday or Saturday and get their all you can drink mimosas, all you can drink Bloody Marys. Totally worth the cost. Just make sure you have a designated driver to drive you home, i.e. Grace. So now on to our song. So this week, I want you to hear songs that are once again a story. And so the story this week is a great storyteller. It's Sturgill Simpson. He is one of my very favorite artists. I like his sound. He came around, really, his breakthrough album was in 2014. It was Grammy nominated. It was Sounds of Country Music. It's so good. And he's got Cutting Grass, Volume 1 and 2 are two of my favorites. It's story after story. And one of my very favorite albums is Dude and Juanita. It is a collection of songs from beginning to end telling a story and about his dog, about his horse, about his family, about his wife, about the pursuit of justice. And it's one album that just tells one long story. And if you know me, you know I love a good storyteller. And Sturgill, I've almost had one time I was going to get to see him. He was coming to Floyd Fest, and he canceled for some reason. And it was like, ugh. So I have not seen him in person, but I will. It's on my bucket list. So the song today is a heartbreak song. Imagine that, me picking another heartbreak song. A man who's not really had many heartbreaks when it comes to relationships. But the song uses colors to describe how he's feeling. And he's going to talk about rainbows and gold and bright. And when she leaves him, all the colors of the world, of his world, turn dark and gray. So I think it's just genius. Once again, I think he knows what he's doing and he's a great storyteller. So let's get right into it. And you're going to get to hear all the pretty colors. And it is from the Cutting Grass.
Well, gray is the color of my world since you left me on the bright and sunny orange and long day.
Alrighty, we've gotten two stanzas in. Gray is the color of my world since you left me on that bright and sunny orange and mournful day. We've already just got into it. He's already starting with the colors. No more rainbows shining out my window. Like you, my skies of blue have gone away. Ooh, that's a good line.
No more rainbows shining out my window. Like you, my skies of blue have gone away. I guess I bought the soul of silver and gold. This old don't seem to shine no more.
Here's my favorite line. I like the way he sings it, not necessarily the words, but yellow, purple, pink, and red have all been replaced by lead, a dull color. And he sings it, and it's just, here's my favorite line. Here he goes. He takes it up an octave. Bring it back. Here we go.
Yellow, purple, pink, and red, been replaced by lead. Like, oh, holler that I'm headed slow. And on the past, bleeding west, so ain't going need. That's my theory, can relate.
All right, here's the genius of him. You don't even realize, like, his culture that he's in there. He says, where's old Van Gogh when you need him? Bet you my left ear he can relate. Well, and if you know anything about Van Gogh, not only was he this brilliant artist, painter, he was mentally ill. And he was living with another artist. And there's two stories, basically. either he got in a fight with this other artist and his earlobe or part of his ear or all of his ear was cut off, or after a fight with this other artist that he was living with, he cut off his ear and he wrapped it in tissue paper. And there's two stories. He gave it to a waitress or a prostitute that was working at a local establishment. Some say she was a prostitute. I'm not sure if he was in love with her. They're not really even sure why he gave her his ear or earlobe or part of ear wrapped up in a napkin. But it wasn't long after that he recognized he was mentally ill and he checked himself in to get some help. So he was brilliant, but he was a genius who was mentally ill. To cut off your ear and give it to a woman, and it wasn't given to her, we don't think, out of love. They don't know why he gave it to her, and they don't know if he cut it off or it was cut off for his friend and he just didn't want to tell. So we'll never know. But the fact that he refers to Van Gogh and cutting off his left ear in a bluegrass song is crazy. So anyway.
Pretty blues fade from the cities and wastelands. Because of you, my world's gone gray.
Because of you, my world's gone gray. This line, some say that gray's a better way to live than blue. Not quite black or white, but in between. But I've been so down ever since those brown eyes followed white lines back to the pines evergreen. That's so good. And nobody wants to live in gray.
Well, some say gray's a better way to live than blue. Not quite black and white, but in between. But I've been so down ever since those other friends. But while I'm back behind,
She followed white lines. She's on the road.
and on the other
Some leaving where's old Van Gogh when you need him. Bet you my left ear he could relate.
and all the pretty blues fading from the cities and wastelands. Because of you, my world's gone gray.
Ready?
And all the pretty blues fading from the cities and wastelands. Because of you, my world's gone gray.
That is a great song. It has got a great story, and I love Sturgill, so I can listen to him. Sometimes I'll just listen to Sturgill radio all day long. I'll put it on. I'll do that with Tyler. I'll do that with a lot of artists, but I just love his storytelling. So I hope you have enjoyed it too. Hope you enjoyed Grace. I realized my friend Andy, who made this lovely bar, who made that bar top, so I got his free range hat on right now. A little free advertisement there, Andy. Hope you're watching. I hope y'all enjoy the drink. I hope you enjoy the song. Send me your request if there's something you really like. I got 3 people lined up to be special guests. We just got to get them up here when the snow finally gets out of my driveway. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. As always, Grace, any final words?
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. We want more people to enjoy it. Go have yourself a nice Bloody Mary. See you next time.